Welcome to episode number 23 of the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. Today we have Atlanta agent Tori McGee on the show, and she's been a successful real estate agent who recently just secured 3 new listings simply because she's been positioning herself differently, and they found her on the internet. What? Learn how she is taking her real estate business to new levels by sharing her unique expertise in healthy homes, and she's helping her clients in a new way. I know it will inspire you to start thinking about how you can differentiate yourself and leverage this new growing trend and demand for wellness. Let's grow. Welcome to the Real Estate Marketing Podcast, where we explore a unique strategy no one is talking about that will enable you to engage more people with authentic conversations about your business more often. And it's called Wellness Real Estate. Not sure what that is or how it can help you as an agent? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. In fact, wellness real estate is growing so rapidly that it is projected to be nearly $870 billion by 2027. I'm Sheila Alston, and I'm your host. I'm also the founder of Healthy Home Media, where I help agents all over the country leverage this new trend in the industry to spark new conversations that will get people to listen to you and notice your brand. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels without any leads or sales to show for it, then stay tuned. I guarantee this podcast is not like any you've heard before. Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. All right. I'm so excited you're here, Tori. Thank you so much for being on the show.
You're so welcome. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody, I have Tori McGee on the show. She's an agent from Atlanta, Georgia. She's been an agent for many years, but the reason why I wanted to bring her on the show is because recently she's done some different things in her marketing, and she says it's really increased her engagement. So that's why I wanted to bring you on. So maybe you could start by telling us, how long have you been an agent, and then you can dive into your marketing.
Sure. So I've been an agent for almost 8 years, and I started out because there was really no one in the industry that did what I needed when I was out as a client myself looking to buy a property. And so I just decided, well, I'm going to be that person because if I'm needing this, I'm sure there's other people that's going to ask questions out there about how to find certain things about properties or healthy homes, and so I just went and did it. So yeah,
Oh.
so it just kind of started out on my own journey needing it, and saw there was not really anyone out there to help me. So that's kind of how I got started.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So tell me a little bit more about that. So what were you looking for in a home that other agents didn't know about?
Yeah, so I was concerned, as my healthy lifestyle, with the family. My husband had chemical sensitivity. I had a daughter with ADHD that started my journey out earlier, when I was in my 30s. So as I was home searching, I wanted to make sure that we didn't have some certain toxic, chemicals possibly in the home. And I knew some new construction could give off gases, and I just had questions, about mold. What did it look like, with new construction? Did anybody really, vet it?
Hmm.
Um, Obviously I had questions about radon, and just, knowing a little bit that I knew, a lot of agents didn't have, my answers. And so it was, kind of disheartening, but I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go out and try to help other clients that had, the same questions that I had. Because with my husband and chemical sensitivity, certain homes that I would go into, he would get triggered.
Mm.
Even if we were touring, not new construction or resale, some of the chemicals and those little plug-ins and certain things would get him into, he would eyes would start watering. He would possibly, have like, trouble breathing and just sneezing. Like his allergies would just take over. So there was a lot with that. So
You know what? That's
yeah.
really interesting too, because you were aware that it was a chemical sensitivity where other people might just not even know that. And they might think, oh gosh, there's something in the air, or maybe it's seasonal. There must be some tree. And they
Right.
don't associate it with the home. And then they go and buy the home and they're sick in their home. And they don't ever make that equation until maybe years down the line. And they just are constantly sick. And they're like, okay, what is it? I've never had allergies before. And now then they finally get their air tested, or they'd get something tested and they realize that there's something in the air that's been making them sick in their home.
Yeah, yeah. They go and they buy a home that's was making them sick the whole time, and
Mhm.
you can't, they just couldn't figure it out. And then, and I was never, even told about air quality or mold testing. I mean, it wasn't, a thing. And I'm so glad that people are being more aware of mold and chemicals and our air quality that goes on in homes. So I'm really happy to see this movement is starting to um, take effect, that people sadly had to get sick in their homes before people really started questioning it.
Yeah, well, so then tell me a little bit about this journey where you were kind of saying things that are completely different than whatever their agents are saying. Because I know that most agents want to just stick to the book and be just like the other agents, but that's not, if you're just like all the other agents, then how is anybody going to know they need to hire you? So what was the response you got, and how did you talk about this with real estate?
So yeah, so as I slowly over the years, I've kind of built more and more information together. And as I started, it was slowly, I didn't, just come out one day and just have all this information. So as I slowly started kind of educating and talking to my co-op agents, I'd kind of say, hey, we found some mold, this is how we need to address it, and just, had some conversations. And then, so last year I decided I am going to take it further. I'm actually going to go to the Building Biology Institute and become a certified building biology advocate, because I wanted to have that behind my lifestyle brand so I can help my clients with this whole realm of information. So when they come to me, I can be that resource. So they don't feel like, oh, I have to do this or I don't have to do that. They're going to have options. They're going to have, my resources of healthy home experts that are in the area that can come in and help them navigate whatever it may be. If they decide they want to terminate and find something else, that is great. We will do so. But if they're really in love with that home and the location, what can we do to make that home health and wellness for them and their family? So that's just, something that I've really been advocating for around the area, to try to help these families make the decision that's right for them, and as their professional advocate, I'm not here to make the decision for them. I'm here to give them the information and help them with whatever comes during the home inspection, and what is their health and wellness with their family. One mom had a child with cystic fibrosis. That might have been a deal breaker if she found something on the home inspection, versus another family that they might have been okay with. So, you take every transaction, every family, and, work with them on what their special needs are. But it's so important that we have to look at the health and wellness of the home, and how does it work for the families? It's definitely a team effort.
Well, and I love that. I love that you kind of have a long range view also, because I think so many agents can be a little short-sighted. They want to make sure the transaction closes perfectly, nothing goes wrong. Oh no, if I, of course we're advocating for the client, but sometimes I think it's might be because the agent isn't as knowledgeable about how things can really be detrimental to your health. So they kind of downplay some of these things and say, oh, it'll be okay. And then it's kind of not okay. So I think you're better off if you really do. You don't have to be, as an agent, the expert on everything, but if you can connect with other experts, bring them in and not be, you know, kind of a fear monger, but be someone that is advocating for the client who does have these sensitivities or they care about. And then guess what? If you do that, not only does your client know that you really do care about them and you're trying to find the best place for them, they are going to be your best referral source, because
Yeah.
they can see that you're not just about closing the transaction.
Exactly, exactly. And it's such, I've become families with these clients. We've just grown, and they trust me, and they do tell all of their friends about me, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, have you heard, Tori's a holistic wellness realtor, and she can really help you," and people will tag me now. And So I really have an amazing group of mamas and families that really, really will reach out to me. Even, this week I've had a few of them reach out to me and say, "Hey, I use this other realtor, and now, we're having issues in the home, and I think we've got mold, and we didn't even, we don't even know." And so it's there's a lot that that can benefit from using a realtor that is, that is certified in building biology, advocate, and then can also help you navigate through that. And also, I want to mention EMFs as well. A lot of realtors don't have an EMF meter, and I know some families are very, sensitive to that, so they don't want to be maybe near a 5G tower.
Mm-hmm.
So that will help them. Like during our showing, we can, find out if there's power lines or not. And just last year, I was helping a client, and we were, walking around the property, and my EMF meter was going pretty high. And so I walked back through some trees, and there was a huge transformer right there in the backyard. You couldn't see it because of the trees. And she was so grateful that they didn't build this home there. So we, went around the corner and built a home, and she's super happy. And she was just so concerned because of, her children are there, and she just didn't want to be right there near the power lines.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. Um, what it, I mean, I can imagine if a family has young kids and they don't want that and something's hidden, they don't see it, and then it's too late down the process and you've already put money down or something, what a huge screw up that could be for them, right? Oh my gosh. Uh-oh, you're frozen, Tori. Are you there?
Yeah. So there's
Okay.
a lot, yeah, yeah, I'm here. So yeah, so there is a lot that goes into it, besides looking at, during a showing, there's little things that I'll look for, I always open up the cabinets. Was there a water leak? I'll look around for cracks, was there, a leak from the ceiling? There's just things that I'll look at, my sense of smell, trying to, navigate through that. And also how the home sits. I like to mention that. So a lot of times you'll see when it rains, water can come to the house. So you want to look at, how the home is sitting. How is it graded? Is it graded to where water's not going to be sitting and holding right there near? So there's a lot to look for. And you can just, point it out. I like to point it out to my clients and say, "Hey, if you guys want to move forward with this house, we might want to bring someone else in to kind of give us a professional expertise on how that water's sitting, just so you don't have any future issues." I'm very transparent. I want them to know and feel super confident that we did everything we could, before they bought this huge purchase, that they had all the information and they had their little checklist of, if they're okay with moving forward, there's little things that they could do over the next year or so to create, a better ecosystem with their property.
Yeah, and if you, I just think that's so important because especially nowadays, buyers and sellers are so educated. They already
Yeah,
know price per square foot of sold homes.
yeah,
They already know, all the visual stuff. So if you're their agent and you don't know more than they do, they aren't going to really
right.
value you and what your commission or anything like that. But if you can point out things that they don't know and say, you're going to want to pay attention to this, let's bring an extra expert in here to give you information on this. Don't be alarmed. Everything's fixable. It just depends on how much it's going to cost to remediate some of these things. And then you get to decide if it's worth the extra cost or if we should just go find someplace different.
That is exactly right. It's exactly right. And us as realtors, we can't be scared to not educate ourselves because, um, but it is, it's such a lifestyle for me, doing this for over 20 years, living this healthy life. I like to share it with my clients. So, I also created Non-Toxic Georgia because I want to, not just, the home, I want your yard to be healthy, right? Like the chemicals that we spray on our yards with our little ones, our
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
So it's so important. It's such, everything that I do is not just a small little bubble. I try to, create this whole system to help them and try to connect them with more non-toxic, pest control companies, when you're coming into the home, when
Yeah.
you do purchase it, why bring in these toxic companies that's going to just spray chemicals around your baseboards? Let's look for more green and organic and safe products
Yeah.
that can, help with the bugs, but also help with, your family's health and wellness. And air quality is so important.
Mhm.
And we talk about water. I mean, there's a lot we could have a podcast for weeks.
Yeah,
Maybe we
I know.
could.
Well, I think the thing that consumers don't realize, and many people don't realize, is that just even in the last 10 years, everyone has sort of created this toxic soup in their house with between all the Wi-Fi gadgets that we didn't have 10 years ago. Now we have 50 on our routers and, and 5G, like you said, and then we also are bringing in chemicals. And so you kind
Yeah.
of you're mixing all of that in, and it's not one thing that's going to harm you, but it's the combination of everything. It's I mean, I like to think of it as like it's like a prescription drug. That prescription drug might be fine, but if you're taking 20 of them, who knows how that's
Right.
going to affect you. Maybe you should kind of like try to get off some of them.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And there's little things we can do. So, just for all the listeners and everybody out there, let's say you buy that home and you found it. You want to paint the house, you can start there. Go for the VOC free paints. Let's look for that less, off gassing.
Mhm.
And then, maybe try to get rid of carpeting, try to find that, low, low, all the low VOC
Mhm.
flooring.
Mhm.
Let's look for products that are more eco, that's more non-toxic, for you and your family. And you can do little things, it doesn't have to be a all, $200,000 home renovation.
Yeah.
It's over the process of eliminating the things that are in the home.
Mhm.
And I tell people that are just starting out, the small little things you can do is get rid of those Febreze and air fresheners.
Mhm.
And also clients don't like that when you're selling your home, that you might think it smells like pumpkin pie or that fake smell, but it's really not good.
Yeah.
People know. Get you a diffuser,
Mhm.
put some fun grapefruit in there, get a healthy, natural scent in there. And if you do happen to have carpet that you feel might have an odor, do baking soda, sprinkle some baking soda in there. um or have a carpet cleaning company that doesn't use chemicals. There's things you can do while you're selling your home as well. It's not even just purchasing.
Mhm.
Sellers can also, eliminate a lot of that by taking all their cleaning products that might have those stinky smells, put them in the garage, put them away that, families don't have that when they walk in, because you can kind of walk into a home and know the natural clean house versus a bleachy Lysol,
Yes, yes.
house. Yeah.
And I think people have trained themselves to think that bleach smells clean, and bleach is actually very toxic and it actually can hurt your lungs. So don't say that smells clean, because it's not a good smell.
Exactly, exactly. And there's so many products out there like Branch. Branch is a great, non-toxic cleaning. It gets it cleaned, and you don't have all those other smells that go with it. So there's so many things. And I try to create a little bit of resources, as well as the amazing real estate magazine on my website. So I want to absolutely tell everybody listening, if you haven't seen the Wellness Real Estate magazine, go to my website and look at the resources. Every month it is full. I am in awe of all the information monthly that's in the magazine that helps so many families just, connect with, with everything. It's just, it really reaches beyond our walls, and goes out to our communities and helps, with resources. It's amazing.
Thank you. Well, so maybe you can take a step back. And so tell me what you started doing a year ago that has made a big difference in your engagement and connection with people.
So yeah, so I just decided, I'm really going to put myself out there. I can talk to people one on one, but I'm not that social media guru, I'm not that person. So I did decide I'm going to do some extra branding. So I have an amazing web designer, and she kind of helped me navigate through who I am and my personality, and kind of created, a nice website for me to kind of give some information. Because, when you go to a typical real estate agent's website, what do you see? What's the price of your home? And it's all about, the neighborhood comps. I didn't want that. I wanted a resource for my community so we can go out and talk about things that, is what's around the kitchen table. What do families care about, right? Yeah, we care about the price of the home. We care about negotiating, but what's not getting spoke about. So the website, kind of helps people talk about things, local, maybe chiropractors in the area, local functional doctors, some acupuncture, just whatever can get you healthy for you and your family around our community. And I'm always adding new, resources on there whenever I find them. I probably should update it because I have found some really good ones. So I'll be, updating it. But um, I just wanted to put the website together as well as the Wellness Real Estate Magazine to kind of give resources to everybody that, that has questions or it wants to start the process.
I love that because, I mean, you had said it to me before. If someone wants to look for a home, you can put them on an MLS search, or they're probably going to go to Zillow or Realtor. They're not going to go to your website to do something they could do on a site they already use all the time. But if you are like, oh my gosh, I've got all of these resources here for you, you can learn more about me and how I'm different and blah, 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 and send them there. Then they really are. It's like a really awesome business card for you. And you're giving them a guide to the community and a guide to, what is non-toxic living. And I love that. I think it's actually like brilliant because so many agents want to just use their broker's website or, and then there's so many other agents. How are you? Nobody knows why you're different.
Exactly. And this is what I keep saying to everybody, why would you use me over someone else, like your cousin, or everybody knows a real estate agent nowadays? Why would you want to work with Tori? Well, I'm going to, be your advocate for your healthy home. I'm going to be your healthy home expert. I'm going to bring ideas and vendors to you that I've worked with in the past that can help you make the decision what's best for you and your family through whatever your needs are. We're all in different levels, and I don't judge anybody either because we're all in different financial places as well. Not everybody can do certain, projects in their homes, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If we give them resources, they can do it when they're ready.
Right. And some things you can do, like you can phase things out, right? So you can let them know,
Right.
this is probably the most immediate concern. So if I were you, I'd probably want to take care of this, maybe especially if you're pregnant or you have little babies or something, you can point out certain things that they can do. And then certain things that they can, do later. But the key is that you really are being their guide. You're not just being a transaction facilitator. You're helping
Right.
them with all aspects of their home. So they're going to go, even if they're not looking for a new home, they're connecting on your website, they're learning more. So when the time comes for them to make that transaction, it's a no-brainer for them to just use you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
I really want people to understand, the value of having someone, in your court that's going to really take a look at everything. And I had a client like last year, she's a good friend of mine. Her radon level came back at 11.
Oh.
And the previous owner didn't do a radon test, and he had lived there, a year or so. And he was shocked. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I've been living in this house with
Yeah.
radon levels of 11."
Is that bad? I don't
It's
know.
bad. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
really high. You want to keep it, 2 to 3.
Oh,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah. It
Wow.
under
So what
that,
do you do about that? How do you get rid of radon?
you have a radon mitigation system put in. You have, a company come in that can, mitigate it, and they run these, like the pipe, they run it up to the top of the roof of the house, and they test it, they keep an eye on it. And yeah, so there's a lot that people need to know about. And,
Mhm.
and just having somebody like me there that can, during the home inspection, we're going to get that radon test. We're going to know, a lot of people do have lung cancer that's never smoked before, and it shows that they've had radon in their homes in the past.
Oh.
So,
And it's a
so
silent
they're
gas too, right? Like you don't even know that it's there. It doesn't smell. It doesn't.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to touch on another thing too, because I do think, well, first, I want to know what is the difference that you've seen in your business? I mean,
Mhm.
is your marketing making a difference?
Yeah, it's definitely making a difference. People are knowing me. They're asking me for advice. They're coming to me, and it's just so joyful to see the love and the support I am getting. People really, really do love what I do, and I'm so thankful to have a great support system and community and moms and families around here that really do. It's amazing. It's a great, and I've been written up in Shout Out Atlanta
Mhm.
and some other magazines that's, interviewed me and asked me some questions. And it's been very, very nice to have that support that I can help other families and the community. It's
Yeah,
nice.
congratulations. That's awesome. I mean, I think I know because I've been a realtor for a while and I'm actually now focused on the magazine. But when I was a newer agent, it's just, even though you have a lot of friends and a big network, when you're new, not everybody wants to practice, on, wants you to
Yeah,
practice on their home, right? So you can
exactly.
join a team, you can be a part of a larger brokerage and have the support there, which is great. But then still, why do they need to hire you? Like you said, everybody knows several agents. So I
Yeah.
really do feel like wellness real estate is this amazing icebreaker. It's such a great opportunity to talk about real estate, yet you're not talking about real estate. You're talking about a healthy home. You're talking about this new trend that's in the industry of developers who are building these communities centered on wellness. And how exciting is that? But the opportunity is that not everybody can move to these neighborhoods, but everybody deserves to have a healthy home, right?
Absolutely. Exactly.
So
No
I
matter
just
what your
think
price point is.
yeah, so I think if you can be a guide to at least just facilitate some knowledge for them and educate them a little bit, you don't need to be the expert on a healthy home. Maybe you don't have this building biology advocate certification, but you can find someone who has it. You can use Tori as a resource, right? Um, I think you can connect with people who are healthy home professionals and you can be that connector for people. And doing that, all of a sudden, if your friend has 7 agents that they know, but they know that you're doing this and it comes time for them to buy a home, they might just hire you. Otherwise, they might hire someone they don't know because they don't want to pick amongst their friends if they think they're all the same, right?
Yeah, and that happens a lot. There's a lot of people in the industry, they will come to me and they do know a lot of agents, but they'll come to me because they want someone that can help them advocate,
Mm-hmm.
for that healthy home. And they're, gonna have a realtor that does check for the air quality and the radon and how far is the 5G tower to your property and just little things like that that add up. So yeah, so it is important to have that. Mhm.
Well, so then tell me a little bit about how exactly did you get started talking to people? Because I know that can be kind of a challenge. It's like, okay, I'm a new agent and I've already sent out an email to my sphere, but how do I go out and reach more people? Maybe
Yeah.
they don't have an opportunity to be at an open house or they're just not sure, you know, do
Yeah.
they just start buying leads or do they just start their social media and what do they do?
Right. Well, when I started out, almost 8 years ago, it was just through the community and the moms that I knew, just kind of us talking, sitting around saying, "Yeah, it'd be great to have, a realtor that did this," and then we just started talking
Mhm.
and it just kind of created. So I would say to all the other agents starting out, find your tribe, find your sphere, and just have conversations. What are they looking for? What's important to those families, right?
Mhm.
There's, everybody's in a different place. Everyone is, looking for something a little different, but to me, everyone who says, "Oh, I don't want a healthy home," says no one, right?
Right. Well, you know what?
Um,
I think you really just touched on the most important thing, because I think a lot of agents will go out and join a ton of community groups, right? But then they don't talk about real estate, because who wants to say, "Are you looking to buy or sell?" You know, it's so
right,
cheesy. That's what gives us like the used car salesman reputation. But
right,
if
yeah,
you were to go out and say, I really want to, have you heard of wellness real estate? Let me tell you about this. And oh, I'm trying to be a different kind of realtor because I really feel that it's important that everybody is healthy. You've opened up this whole new conversation that's around real estate. You're differentiating yourself, but yet you're putting your client forward and finding ways to help them, which is why I just think it's just magical, because you're helping you, but you're helping them. and
right.
then and then you're differentiating yourself all at the same time, all just because of this amazing new trend in our industry, which is so forward thinking. It's amazing. And I think it's really going to be, for me, I equate it to organic. People thought it was a little crazy in the beginning, but now it's everywhere, right? So if you
Right,
can be the agent to start talking about this with people, it's only a matter of time before people are going to start asking for wellness agents. So,
right, exactly,
mhm,
exactly. And also, the thing that I like to tell people too, because I do have some agents that come to me and say, "Hey, Tori, how do you do what you do?" What also, I live it, so that's
mhm,
important. I'm not just, trying to share it. This is something that I care about for
mhm,
me and my family is our health and wellness and all of this. So I kind of challenge those agents. Well, if you're not living this and you're not doing it for you and your own family,
mhm,
start there, right? If you
mhm.
want to start somewhere, you got to help you and your family first, and then you can start helping other families. So
Right.
make that change for you and your family,
Mhm.
start doing things, and then I'm here to help, answer any questions anybody has as well, for that, how to get started. And then we can, have some conversations to help their families, first.
Right. Well, when you do think make little changes for your family, it comes from the heart. So then
Mhm.
you post about that on your social media, or you talk about with your friends. Guess what? I just decluttered my house and I feel so much less like less stress. And it's just really, yeah, and it's something as simple as that. You can just say, wow. And then you can I just got this new cleaner and it's been amazing. I feel like, especially moms, everybody wants that little extra tip. How can I be better? So
Exactly.
share that stuff.
Yeah, and it's so simple, like, you'll be surprised at when I do open a lot of, underneath kitchen sinks, all the chemicals that are under there. So, anyone wanting to start out, why don't you start there? Why don't we get rid of all of the chemicals that we're bringing into our homes and go for the non-toxic cleaning products? That's a good start. 2023 is coming up around the corner. So why don't we, do something this year? Why don't we
Well,
start there?
and I think the big misconception could be that toxic products work better. And,
Yeah.
actually, there's been enough time that there's so many companies now that provide alternatives, and you have to, I mean, unfortunately, you do have to go beyond a little bit of the marketing. You have to do a little bit of research, because a lot of big brands will call themselves eco or green, and they're really not.
Yeah,
So,
that greenwashing. Yeah, the
that's
greenwashing.
greenwashing. So if you can do a little bit of research, practice, try some different alternative things. It's just so much better for your family. Start little by little.
Yeah,
That's a great piece of advice. And then
right.
if you're an agent and you're thinking, and you don't have to be a new agent. I think you could be, a longtime agent, but maybe your business is slowing down. You're not getting those referrals like you used to, and you might want to rebrand yourself.
Yep.
This is a perfect opportunity for you to brand yourself around something that people really do care about, and it's wellness. And I don't think that, the typical agent puts those things together. But if you can find a way where it resonates with you and it means something to you, and you can put that together, you can be making a big difference in people's lives and helping them more than just facilitating a transaction for them, which I just think feels so much more fulfilling, anyways.
Absolutely. There's so many agents out there that could be transitioning into the more wellness real estate, and we'll see what happens. But I would love to see more agents having, I have conversations with them, say, oh, this is great. I've done this, or this, and occasionally I'll get a couple of agents say that. And I've been really talking to a lot lately, and I
That's
have
awesome.
seen a
Well,
difference. Yeah,
so let's tell everybody your website so people can go check you out.
absolutely. So it's www.atlantaholisticrealtor.com, or I tell everybody, go follow me on Instagram at Holistic Home Expert.
I love it. Okay, but
Yeah.
here. So what if you're an agent who thinks, okay, I don't want to exclude anybody, and if I use the word holistic or I use some of these terms and I'm talking about, too many toxic things, people are going to be turned off and they're not going to want to use me. What do you
Right.
say to them?
I say be who you are, because, don't be scared of those terms. You can, because I hear people say, what does holistic and all this mean? And non-toxic, and you're just, stress to them that you're just helping them with their toxic load, with their home, their family health and wellness. And it's not anything to be scared about. You're just, helping them have that healthier home and healthier lifestyle. And you're just going to make some suggestions, and you just want to share with them what you have learned over the years, or as you are learning, you can go through the process with them and say, look, I'm just new starting into this, and we can go through it together. And if you don't know, ask someone too. If you're not sure, something comes up, you can always ask. There's my resources, there's tons of resources out there, so don't be scared of it. And I would you know just share the information, and just let them know you are different. Being holistic or non-toxic doesn't, make you crazy. It just makes you looking at it in a different way that a lot of families are starting to look at. So you do need to have that information, because you don't want to be that agent that this family is going to ask you questions and you got a deer in headlights. Like, what are
Yeah.
you talking about?
Right. I don't know what you're talking about. And then they're like, I know more than you. Why am I hiring you?
Exactly. You don't
Um,
want your client to know more about,
yeah.
more about the business and health and wellness than you, right?
Well, and I mean, just because I am helping lots of different agents who are trying to brand themselves differently, there's agents who are calling themselves holistics. There's agents who are calling themselves eco agents. There's agents who are calling themselves regenerative agents. There's agents who are like feng shui experts, and they're trying to bring that into just because the feeling you get in a home, they're trying to help their clients with that. So I just feel like there's so many people who have, we're all multifaceted. We all don't have just one expertise. It's kind of like we bring all these different aspects from our lives and what's important to us, and we're trying to merge them into how we can help people. So you don't even really need to call yourself different if you don't want to. It's just that you are different. And so you do need to say that in your marketing about how you're different, so that when people go to look you up, they realize that difference and that it draws them to you. I don't think it's it's going to be I mean, it'll exclude the people that don't care about a healthy home, I guess.
Right, exactly. And I have had some people say, Tori, I don't really care about the health and wellness. I just want you to get me the best deal possible.
Mhm.
I'm like, okay, let's
Yeah.
just put in the off.
Yeah.
I'm the girl too. If that's what you want to hire me for,
Yeah.
I will give you my 2 cents, and I will kind of share with you, just because it's going to make me feel better,
Yeah.
letting you know what I find, and let you handle, because this is your home. Ultimately, it's your decision, and I will do exactly what you need me to do. We can put in that offer, and if it doesn't bother you, that's fine. And you can have the information. So if down the road you do decide to make changes, you'll have that. It's kind of like, your inspection report will be that checklist.
Yeah. Well, and then you're still the resource for them. If something comes up in their home, they're going to call you about that. And you're going to be able to guide them to the right, person. So that's wonderful. So I'm so thankful that you've been on the show. Thank you so much for helping everybody. And
Oh,
I hope that if agents are out there and you're just wondering, please do check out Tori's website. And she's so awesome. Just send her an email and ask her a question. I think that the wonderful thing about this is that we're creating a tribe of agents who just want to help people, and they're not really super salesy, and they're not trying to, you know,
yes.
I don't know, ask for something first. They want to provide and give to people first. So I just think networking with agents like you is a wonderful thing to do. And especially if we can get out of that competitive mindset, there's plenty of homes to buy and sell. And the more people that we can like connect with and be a support system for us, I just think the better.
Right. And
Yeah.
I don't charge, some people will say, "Oh, Tori, do you have an additional charge? Are you charging for your services?"
Mhm.
I don't charge for my services. There's not going to be some hidden fee, at closing that you're going to owe me extra money. This is just, a gift,
Mhm.
I'm sharing my education with you and my knowledge. So that's one thing too, that I wanted to share too, because,
Well,
that's, I get that asked a lot.
it's your differentiator, right? And so people
Right.
are getting more than they know, than they bargained for. What's the phrase? They're getting
Yeah.
more than they knew they
Expected.
were. So it's
Yeah.
like they're surprised and delighted about that. That's amazing.
Exactly, and
Well,
I love everything you're doing, and I just am so thankful that you invited me on, and it's just amazing, and I have to tell you, I'm just obsessed with the magazine, and thank you so much. Yes.
thank you so much. I really want it to be a resource for agents so that they don't, I mean, we're small business people, right? So
Yeah,
it's like, not only do you have to sell homes, but you got to generate leads, and then you got to close, you got to get sales, and you got to do your own marketing, and you got to
right,
do your own accounting. It's like so much stuff, and not everybody's good at everything. And
right.
I'm pretty good at marketing, so you can
You
use
are great
me.
at it, yeah,
And
and I have clients that will come to me and say, "Wow, that magazine is just thank you, Tori, for all the resources and everything in there. It just helped me out, the little things that's in there, just different things is just so amazing, and it's definitely what we need because we can get real estate magazines all day long about, what is the value? What is this? You are bringing the community, the home, and all of the wellness into it, and it is just amazing, and thank you so much.
oh, thank you. I just really wanted it to be kind of a done for you toolkit so that agents don't have to, they can market themselves, but it doesn't have to be an extra thing you have to do. You can get the templates. And
Yeah.
how do you use all of the templates, and how do you, I mean, I designed them to be kind of complementary to your local stuff. So how do you use the social media and all the tools that I provide?
So I'm working on that. I have my web designer. She helps me with the magazine and puts it on the website. So I am definitely challenged when it comes to a lot of that. So I do have the automatic post,
Right.
so the Wellness Real Estate Pro does help me do the automatic posting and sets it up for me, which is
Mhm.
very, very helpful because I am really still that's one less thing that I have to worry about, and it's just been amazing. I've been getting lots of people really enjoy those posts and stuff, so it's been very helpful with me, on that. So
Good.
I tell everybody, yeah, if you're really looking for that information, that's definitely reach out because it's
Yeah.
great.
You're still doing though, like you got to be on there sometimes. You should record yourself, on your Instagram every once in a while, just so people can see your
I
pretty
do
face.
have to do better. I do. I
Every once
just
in
learned
a
how to do
while.
reels. I just learned how to do some reels when I do
Oh,
a
good.
showing. Yeah, so I'm gonna start doing more videos. So 2023, be ready. I'm gonna really step it up
You know what you
and
can do is you can go connect with your local, small business owners, whatever they are, other healthy home providers, or just, good food, or, whatever, and interview them for a second and just say, would you like to be on my reel? Because I really want to show all the followers about your business and make it more about them. But then you have a live reel
good.
and it's more local. So you mix that stuff with wellness real estate, and then you really have a really great, um, you know, uh, Instagram feed
Yeah,
or
that's
Facebook.
so good. Yeah, because I'm really wanting to step up and get some more followers and that this year. So I'm definitely going to be working on all that. And yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
I mean,
excited
I think
to.
if you can connect with other small business people and other professionals and you promote them, then they're
Right.
your new best friend too. And they're going to be, you're networking with these other professionals that are then going to refer you, and then all of their followers that follow them, because they'll post it too on their site.
Right. That's such a
Yeah.
good. That's such a good tip. When I go somewhere, though, I get so excited that I'm there and I forget to do a video, and I'm like, "Oh, I forgot to do the video because it was so,"
Yeah.
so I will
Yeah.
definitely make myself do that.
Yeah.
This year I'll be doing a little bit better. Yeah.
Okay. Well, gosh, good luck to you. Happy holidays. And thank you so much, Tori. I'm so
Thank you so
thankful for
much.
you.
Oh, I'm so thankful for you too, and I look forward to everything and talking to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something new that will inspire you to think about your branding and how you can market yourself a little differently. If you enjoyed this episode, then you're going to love what I have for you, because you don't need to wait to go get extra certifications or to grow and expand your network to get started attracting those new leads right now. You can simply begin by talking about wellness real estate trends and what you've learned on this podcast with others. I mean, this is pretty interesting stuff that no one has heard about, and I have all the tools that can make it even easier for you. Wellness Real Estate Magazine is a brand new wellness lifestyle magazine, and it's the only magazine that brings health and home together. We educate readers on industry trends and how to create a healthier home environment, written by industry experts around the country. And we have 3 covers to choose from: Wellness RE, Healthy Home, and Wellness at Home, so you can easily find one that aligns with your unique brand and messaging. These magazines are the perfect done-for-you tools that help you not only stay top of mind, but they educate and engage your audience, which positions you as an industry expert. Differentiate yourself and grow your brand the easy way. Learn more at healthyhomemedia.com.